Good morning, everybody. Thank you. Welcome again to City Hall, and thank you very much for joining us in this very, very important occasion. I want to immediately thank all the people up here. Today is a very special day. It's one of those moments where we get to see visibly a united official family, but more than that, a united city come together and embrace a very important decision that I'm about to make. Thank you. All right. There are so many people up here and been part of this whole decision-making and advice and community, but I want to, of course, acknowledge officials here. So we have Presiding Judge Feinstein to join us. We have the President of our board and members of our Board of Supervisors. I know David Chu is here, Jane Kim, Carmen, others here. Ross Mercarimi is here. Oh, Malia Cohen, of course. From day one, Malia, we talked about the importance of this decision. We have, of course, our City Attorney, Dennis Herrera. We've got representatives from Kamala Harris's office. We have our city public safety officials that are all here. Jose Cisneros, our Treasurer Tax Collector. We have our DA, Gascón, who I've confided in for many times. On this decision, on many other things. Thank you, George, for being here again. Jeff Adachi, our public defender. Many conversations, Jeff, on different topics. Sheriff Mike Hennessy, thank you for being here today. Juvenile Probation Chief Bill Sifferman. Adult Probation Chief Wendy Still. Our Office of Citizen Complaints, Joyce Hicks. Ed Harrington from our PUC. Thank you, Ed, again. Interim Chief Jeff, again, thank you for your wonderful service being interim chief. A number of members of our police command staff, certainly the police commission, Mr. Mizuko, you, on behalf of the commission, I want to thank you for a very thorough job in presenting to me the best candidates the commission could produce. Thank you very much. It's been an amazing time to work with you and the commission, so thank you. Joe and others from the commission, thank you very much. All right. Our Police Officers Association President, Gary DeLinnis. Gary, it's time to get quiet and go to work. Thank you. Our police public employee groups. I want to also acknowledge Greg's son, Nick, is here today, along with a very, very good friend, Wendy. Thank you very much for joining us today as well. As I said earlier, good, close advisors continue to work with me. Former Mayor Willie Brown, thank you for always being there to talk with me about it. Rose Pack, Rose, dear friend, thank you very much for being there with me as well. Former Supervisor Bevan Duffy, thank you for being here as well, too. Thank you for joining us. I'm sorry if I missed anyone here. Hydra, thank you, school board, President, fire department, of course. Assistant Gardner, thank you. I also had a chat with Joanne Hayes White. She's out with her boys looking at colleges with the boys, and that's a good thing to do. But thank you very much for being here, Chief. See if I missed anybody else here. I think I've gotten everyone. Mrs. Suhr, thank you very much for being here. That's right. Thank you. We set out at the beginning of this year with the goals that I announced, and you know all of them. I've been saying them now for 7 and about to do 10 of these town hall meetings on the budget. But as you know, it was when I was coming back from Hong Kong and realizing what are the things that I had to do immediately, finding a chief was one of those top priorities, and today we get that job done. It had been suggested that perhaps I leave temporary alone and allow maybe an elected mayor to do this. But all of you have known that while I am an interim mayor, I do not make interim decisions. This is a decision for San Francisco. The public safety has always been my priority. Again, I want to express my deep thanks to Acting Chief Godown for his wonderful service in carrying out all the things he's done to stabilize the place while he knew I was looking for the best chief. I want to again acknowledge the thorough job, the thorough vetting by the Police Commission, its work, because it allowed me to take a look at all the best candidates and to choose from there. And today I've chosen the best candidate. "30 years working for this city. All kinds of assignments, different assignments, more than I had in my 22 years. Varied in every respect, but also difficult tasks, whether it was captain of the mission station, doing narcotics, being patrol officers, being heads of and commanders of different aspects, and then being called to duty also with our Public Utilities Commission and creating and establishing from a homeland security effort the safety of our water system, not only for ourselves, but all of the customers and the system itself. That's where I got to know Greg even the most, is when he was literally out of his uniform and into a colleague setting. That's where you get to know somebody truly when you're working for the city and they're working for the city shoulder to shoulder. Somebody who has not only demonstrated through the years of command and leadership, but exhibited that leadership in every single assignment. I want to show you or express to you why he is the best chief. He's had that experience, not only the assignments and the varied assignments, but also each time that he's gotten a different assignment, he's also been called back to head up more difficult assignments. And I know that, as I expressed from day one, when I became mayor, and he had already been assigned to the Bayview Police Station, and I was there for one of my very first merchant walks with Malia Cohen, and we talked about how the Bayview is doing, and we understood how difficult that assignment has been, and why he, of all people, were called to that assignment. And he's done wonders in that community, not only being a police officer, but an expressed example of a leader in community policing, because you don't get the comments that you get when you're not doing a good job with the Boys and Girls Club, with the Delancey Streets, with the Bayview YMCA, with people who live in that community without going beyond the call of duty, being the captain, but being a people's captain. So that was undertaken. Our discussions would be formed. This will be a reformer from the inside out. It is something that we've talked about for quite some time. There's a dedication here to not only reform, but the continued improvement of our police department, the inviting in of the different employee groups that I met with, each of the different employee groups that had a chance to talk with me about what they wanted to see out of a new chief. They had only got that ear, they got the commitment from all of us in this appointment. We have talked about accountability, and you will see how accountability has been exhibited in Chief Suhr's appointment. Not only did he embrace ComStat, he was a living example of how modern technology using statistics would improve his workforce and the people that he's commanded. He will be a community policing officer and chief for this department. So I say without hesitation, the best chief here is being appointed today. This is a great day for San Francisco. it is also a great day for San Franciscans. Thank you very much for accepting this appointment. And now, without any further hesitation, and it's something that happened to me in January, got to hit the ground running. There's a lot of things we got to do, so please, Captain Suhr, let's take the oath of office here. And please repeat after me. Of course, say your name after I. I,
Greg Suhr,
do solemnly affirm
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter, and during such time as I hold the office of Chief of Police for the City and County of San Francisco. Congratulations. I present to you the Chief of Police for the City and County of San Francisco, Chief Gregory Suhr.
He's on the alert. Wow. I can't begin to thank Mayor Lee enough for. I'm speechless. I owe him everything. This is the biggest honor. It's unbelievable. So thank you. I wrote down that I gratefully accept this appointment, but I already did that. So I would also like to thank the members of the Police Commission. I think several of them are here. Just an unbelievable group of people that put more time, effort, and thoughtfulness into their approach to this process, and for recommending me as someone with the qualities necessary to lead this great department. Choked up. I look forward to working with those assembled and the city family, and most importantly, the community that I've always loved working with over my 30 years. I'm a fourth generation born and raised San Franciscan, so I'm a local hire. And I love this city. I grew up on a block where cops lived. I trick-or-treated at their houses. My best grammar school friend's father started the K-9 unit. I played police athletic league football in the Glen Park, and all my coaches were cops. When people ask me about community policing, I tell them that I know no other way to be. I was raised on it. I've spent the last 30 years of my life working side by side with the community and the incredible men and the women of this police department, of the best police department in the country, to keep this city safe. And I'm committed to do so as Chief of Police. Being a police officer is a calling and something to be valued. I have the utmost respect for the officers who put their lives on the line every day to keep the people of our city safe from harm, and I'm proud to call myself one of them. I want to thank those who have played a significant role in my life and have helped lead me to this moment, both inside and outside of the department. They've molded me into the kind of officer, public servant, and person I am proud to be today. During my 30 years of service, I have served in almost every capacity within the police department. I've always done as was asked of me, city first. I started out on the midnight shift under Con Murphy as chief, working in the Tenderloin out of Central Station in 1981. Over the next 30 years, I've worked throughout the city in every neighborhood, most recently installed by now our district attorney is commanding officer of Bayview Station, and I got to give a shout out to the Bayview. I have served this city to the best of my ability, and I will continue that commitment. I promise to work every day to instill the sense of pride I feel to every officer, every new recruit, and I will always lead by example. I will not ask anyone to enter any duty that I have not done or would not do myself. I did not enter into this position lightly. In fact, I'm humbled by it. It is a great honor, and I will work every day to make the city safe and the residents proud of their police department. I can't believe I wrote this, and I still can't get through this. It is critical to our success that we have and maintain the public's trust. The character of the officers of the SFPD must be above reproach. Training will be a big part of this. Someone once said, "We will not train to get it right. We will train until we can't get it wrong." That'll happen. Over the course of my career, I've built tremendous relationships with my fellow officers, but more importantly with the wonderful people who are the heart and soul of this city. People who work every day alongside police officers and take ownership of their block, their neighborhood, and their community, are partners in keeping the city safe. Effective policing can only be done in collaboration with the community. That is the backbone of community policing, working together. Anyone who knows me and has worked with me knows I am readily accessible and pride myself on my responsiveness. That'll never change. I know as a department we're being tested, but together we will rise to the challenge. I will use my experience to inspire the best in every officer and will leave no stone unturned to implement new ideas, efficiencies, and technology, especially CompStat, that will move our department forward into the 21st century. I want to thank my family, my mom, my brother and sister. The other four couldn't make it. My sons, Matt and Nick, and my girlfriend, Wendy. She's not a close friend, she's my girlfriend. Your love and support is what drives me every day to do the best I can. In closing, I'd like to take a moment, if we could, of silence to honor the memory of the brave officers who have given their lives in the line of duty. Their families are always in my thoughts and prayers every day, and their sacrifice to our city will never be forgotten. Mr. Mayor, once again, I thank you for the opportunity, and I can't believe it.
All right, Chief. We begin this new era this afternoon, and we have all the assignments in front of us, the budget, obviously, and public safety in every respect, but I'm going to give the first fun assignment to Chief Suhr, and that is that he will investigate the whereabouts of my birth certificate. So I'm going to do that. But anyway, the city family's behind us. I want to introduce again a good friend, but also one that's heading up the Board of Supervisors with us, and that's President of the Board, David Chu, on behalf of the Board of Supervisors.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good morning. Today is a glorious day, and before I say a few words about the chief, I first want to thank directly some folks here who we need to directly thank, and that is the men and women who have one of the toughest jobs in the city, our men and women in blue, our San Francisco Police Department. Thank you. I am honored to represent the Board of Supervisors today in congratulating an incredible pick for our new police chief. Many of us on the board have known Greg for years, and we have known him as Officer Suhr, we have known him as Captain Suhr, we have known him as Commander Suhr, and it's wonderful today, Greg, to call you Chief Suhr. In the past couple of months, as I've been talking to a lot of department heads, as well as my colleagues at the board and other elected officials, we've all spoken about why Chief Suhr would be such a great chief for our San Francisco Police Department. He is someone who knows our streets. This is a man who's walked the walk, who has walked the beats, who has helped to captain some of the most difficult police stations to help to manage public safety in the city. And he is someone who we all feel confident will be able to bring the San Francisco Police Department through the reforms that Chief Gascón, Chief Fong, and other police chiefs in whose shoes he is filling have had to bring forward. I know I look forward to working with him on the budget. And we also know that the chief is someone who's going to ensure that the San Francisco Police Department continues to be one of the very best police departments in the entire country. So congratulations. We look forward to working with you.
The police chief, as all of you know, is not just about policing. It's being part of a whole justice system. And here to acknowledge her support and presence is our presiding judge, Catherine Feinstein. Thank you, Judge Feinstein, for being here.
I would like to echo all the comments that have come before about what a fine police officer Greg Suhr is. I know that he is going to be the kind of chief that will restore, will improve, will bring forward good cases, and really help the and improve the integrity of the San Francisco Police Department. But that's not really what I want to say. I, too, am a homegrown girl, and I have known Greg Suhr since I was a baby DA in the mid-'80s. And I've watched him, and probably he's watched me, as each of our careers have moved ahead with steps forward and steps back and steps forward and steps back. And to see somebody who knows our city so very well, who can lead us in directions that we maybe haven't been led in a very long time, I think is going to be very special. I think there were times, Greg, that people didn't think that this day would come. And I'm just so incredibly proud to be a part of it. So I welcome you on behalf of your justice partners, on behalf of the staff and the judges of the San Francisco Superior Court, and we really look forward to working with you in the years to come.
And the man who caused this opportunity to start happening, our District Attorney and former Police Chief, George Gascón.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I want to congratulate Mrs. Suhr. Mrs. Suhr and I met about a year and a half ago when Greg was getting an award, a very well-deserved award. And Greg and I have a little joke because I think we share a mom now. He was very upset that Mrs. Suhr and I were having a better time talking to each other than Greg and I were. But all kidding aside, you know, all the prior speakers have said things that I echo, but I think I bring another dimension to the table, is that having come from the outside and having not only work in 2 other police departments, but also help work with many other agencies around the country in order to reform themselves. When I came to San Francisco, I did not have any allegiances. I had no prior knowledge of people. I had the opportunity to take an unbiased, clean slate look, if you will, at the different players that were available. And myself, having also commanded one of the most difficult stations in the LAPD, in the Watts area, I recognize the quality of individual that we need to have in those stations and how important that is. And one of the things that I did is I looked at Greg's background when he was a captain in mission and the work that he did in mission. And one of the things that impressed me was how he related and worked with young people. Because the reality is that for us to be effective in doing what we do, we have to bring young people into the fold. And we have to be able to work with young people effectively. And I knew that, for instance, the YMCA in the Bayview area, there were incredible programs. And there were people that were doing incredible things that they needed the support from the police department. So when the opportunity came up to fill that slot, it was the option, the choice for me became very clear very quickly. And at the time, Greg was working at the Public Utilities Commission, and I felt that he would better serve the city in Bayview. And Greg and I had a conversation, a very straight-up conversation. And I have to tell you that Greg not only exceeded all my expectations, Greg did an incredible job in Bayview. He immediately immersed himself in the community, while at the same time embracing ComStat and embracing the other reforms that we were trying to bring to the table. And he did all this with an incredible level of humbleness and elegance, bringing crime down, making friends, and working effectively with the community. And I can't think of a better choice for this position today in San Francisco than Greg Suhr. I am honored to be here today, and I look forward to working with you, Greg, to make San Francisco the safest large city in America.
Thank you, DA Gascón. Finally, but most importantly, the Police Commission, as I said earlier, did a thorough job. It was a difficult job because it was set out to be the highest standards possible and to have a community process, a process that reflected an openness, a transparency, yet kept the pledge to the community to find the best and the higher standards for selecting a chief and presenting to me that opportunity to do so. So I want to present to you and also thank the Police Commission through the leadership of Tippy Mizuko. Thank you very much. Tippy.
Well, thank you very much. Today is a great honor to stand here on behalf of my fellow commissioners, who I'd like to thank and talk a little bit about the process. Dr. Joseph Marshall, Commissioner Petra De Jesus, Commissioner Jamie Slaughter, Commissioner Jim Hammer, and Commissioner Angela Chan. This commission took this a 100 days ago, this commission announced that we'd be looking for a new police chief. We worked diligently on this, and we had a lot of help from members of our city family and the support of the mayor. I'd also like to thank Tanya Hill, my assistant from Murphy, Pearson, Bradley, and Feeney, who quite frankly ran this process, talked to all the candidates, and handled all the interviews, the transportation, and to get us where we are today. So I want to thank Tanya for her help, one of the unsung heroes. This process was thorough as can be. We didn't interview the candidates once, we interviewed them twice. The mayor did not interview the candidates once, he interviewed them twice. And in fact, there's a joke in my law firm that, who's the new partner that's been using conference room number 1? I said, that's Mayor Lee. So he spent a lot of time in my firm. But this was a thorough process. And what we bring to you today is what we started out to bring to you. We told you we're going to bring you a community-focused community policing and engagement, someone with respect of the rank and file, and someone who's an inspirational leader. You saw the inspirational leader a few minutes ago with his speech. Community-focused community policing. As this process went on, we realized that Greg Suhr was the definition of community policing. He didn't tell people about what he was doing in the Bayview Hunters Point or in the Mission. And when this process was made, the selection of Greg Suhr, it was the soccer players in the Mission District that picked Greg Suhr. It was the kids at the Boys and Girls Club in the Bayview Hunters Point who picked Greg Suhr. And it was the rank and file police officers who picked Greg Suhr. It was the patrol officers on the street, Officers Corsiglia, Boyle, Stearns, the guys who've got their boots on the ground, and the women who work every day that approached me and the other commissioners in the coffee shop and said, Greg Suhr's our chief, we'll work for him. He's a true leader. Thank them for picking our police chief and bringing that to this police commission. I want to tell you, I met Greg Suhr. I knew of Greg Suhr in high school. I knew a lot about Greg Suhr in high school. I knew that you couldn't trust him to hold the ball. He had a block. We share that in common. But I was Greg Suhr's football coach when I finished my college career as a football player. I was asked to coach the San Francisco Police football team. And I had this defensive linebacker who would go straight through people, gave it 150%, and did all he could. And I knew at that point this guy was something special. I was younger than Greg, I want to get that clear. But I was his coach, and the highlight of that time was we beat the LAPD, who was undefeated. Sorry, Chief Go Down and Chief Gascón. It was a great victory.
That was a fluke.
That was a fluke. It was. All kidding aside, what this police commission has brought to you today is not only a native son, who I'm so proud of. We brought to you a cop's cop. That's why we have such a large crowd today. You got a cop's cop, folks. You've got somebody who's dedicated to the community. And to quote, Greg was educated at St. Ignatius College Prep and the University of San Francisco by the Jesuits, and I don't hold that against him. But you know what? Greg Suhr is a man for others, and it's an honor to have him as our chief.
Thank you, everyone, for being here today. I know Supervisor Ellsburn has joined us as well. I also want to thank all the other departments. There's so many of you. I don't want to get into the whole list, but they're part of the official city family that we're working with, that Greg's been able to work with when he was at the PUC. But thank you very much. This ends here, and we have interviews set up in the Mayor's Conference Office for one-on-one interviews with the new Chief Suhr. Thank you very much for being here.
SF Gov TV, San Francisco Government Television.